Now the PPP government is fighting a case to extradite Mr. Mohamed, or Honorable Mohamed, and his father, Mr. Nazar Shell Mohamed, for crimes they said they have committed, tax evasion or what's not. Now, through the courts and through cross-examination, the permanent secretary of Foreign Affairs Ministry took it upon herself when the extradition request came, instead of taking it through the right procedure, she decided that she's going to take it directly to the Minister of Home Affairs. And then they're claiming that it's not political prosecution. She's a permanent secretary. What makes it right for her to go directly to the Minister of Home Affairs? Why couldn't she give this same information to the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs? But that is collusion, and that is a clear as crystal that these people are fighting hard to get rid of Mr. Extradition Mohamed because he's a threat to them, and he's showing poor people what governance is and what a government is supposed to do for the citizens of this country.
Hi there, it's been a while since I posted on our TikTok page, but I thought that I can just hop on and just share a bit of what is happening here. You know, one of the areas I think that we need to see more of is positive stories regarding children on the spectrum. A lot of people, when they think about children on the spectrum, they think about the challenges that they have. They very often don't think about their strengths. They do not think about what they may have overcome to be where they are. But maybe even before I go into all of that, what I should say is that there aren't enough stories in the public domain regarding children on the spectrum. And it's something that has been weighing heavily on me. You know, the importance of putting these positive stories out there, because the stories are many. I would have shared my journey with my daughter several times, and I believe it serves to encourage parents. It gives them hope. But she's not the only one. There are so many other kids who, because of early intervention, those children are thriving. If you follow me on my Facebook page, Early Childhood Services, you would have seen that last November, I think it was, October, November, sometime around there was this little boy who was discharged. And he came in with a number of challenges. He had echolalia. He wasn't communicating, though he had words. He wasn't sociable. He wasn't responding to his name, and a number of other things. And in addition to just providing therapies for the kids, I'd also reach out to teachers. I do school visits and so on. So recently I was at his school to check on some other children who were in my program, and I checked in on him. His teacher had the best things to say about him. He is well behaved, he completes his work, he is well mannered. She just has no issues with him. She said occasionally he may have an off day where he doesn't want to write, but she encourages him, and he would write. And at first this child did not want to write at all. But it makes me so happy when I look at his journey, because he's come so far and he's doing so well. And it speaks to the importance of early intervention. But he's not the only one. Yes, he would have been discharged last year, but there are children in the program right now who are developing and who are gaining skills that they didn't have before. There's this one little boy, when he first came, he had issues with language and communication as well. And I thought, man, this is going to take us a while because of, how he was presenting. And I'm telling you, in a matter of weeks, he is more aware, he is more alert, he's saying so much more, he's communicating, and it's just beautiful to see them develop in this way. So I just want to encourage parents out there, if you have a child you know needs help, what works is early intervention, one-on-one therapy, which is what we focus on here. I think one of the most exciting things to experience is very often children with autism are kind of lost in their own world. They're not present, they're not fully alert or aware. And the moment that you see they start becoming alert and aware of their surroundings and responding to their name, that's usually exciting. The same little boy I was mentioning, who is in a mainstream school doing well, he was discharged last year. I remember when he first started to become more aware and alert, and then he started playing little tricks on me. So I would show him a number. I'm like, what number is this? And he would deliberately say the wrong thing as he's side-eyeing me. Like, that's not number what? And he would crack up. He thought it was so funny. But I would say for a long time when he was coming, we weren't seeing the sort of progress we were hoping to see. And that's the thing, there is no telling. For some it may take a short time, for others it would take much longer. And for him, it had looked as if he would have been in a situation where he would have probably needed to repeat that class. And then just one day, out of nowhere, he just started progressing and doing so well. I'm so very proud. And to speak to something I mentioned earlier, when I spoke about their strengths, this little boy knows Russian. Of all things, Russian. And it's so impressive to see him write the Russian alphabet and saying it in Russian. I mean, who would think? I remember my own daughter had an interest in chemistry when she was 8-9 years old, and she would sit and read this chemistry book as if she had CSEC coming up. And this is why I say to parents, you need to expose them to a number of different things. You just don't know what strengths they have, what interests they have. So it's important that you expose them to a number of different things, different activities. Expose them to playing with children. I know that it's difficult because when your child has a challenge and they go around neurotypical children, sometimes they're the stares, or a bold little one may come and ask, why is he behaving that way? And you're not always in the frame of mind to deal with those questions, or to just see your child being looked at a certain way. But it's important for them. You never know what you would find out as you expose them to different things. So art and music and different games, tennis, just don't hold them back. Yes, they may have their challenges, but you never know what may help them to come out of their shell, so to speak. As I was mentioning, very often they're kind of in their own head, in their own minds, thinking their own things. As you expose them, you just never know. For my daughter, it was dance. Oh, how she loved to dance. And when she wasn't following instruction, dancing really helped, because in order to dance, meaning choreographed dances, she'd have to follow instructions. And it worked. And it translated into the classroom, where the teacher was then able to say that she's now following instructions in the classroom. Anyway, that's just my tidbit. I wanted to speak just a bit on some of the positive things that we see coming out of children with autism, and some of the positives that we have at the center, and to encourage parents, you know, to do the work. We encourage our parents here all the time. I don't want to know that you're just dropping your child off and then that's it. I spend time, my teachers as well, talking to parents about how the child would have progressed in a particular session, what it is that the parent needs to do at home to help to support the child to develop whatever skill we might be working on. But it's something that we need to work on together. When I was at school, I remember at PTA meetings and so on, if I was listening in, teachers would say, oh, parents and teachers have to work together to help the child. Well, in this instance, it's parents and teachers and the therapists. We all work together to help the child. For which reason, I take the time to speak with parents. I take the time to do school visits and speak with teachers as well. All right, so that's my 2 cents for today. I hope it encourages some parent who is listening. Be patient. We are running a marathon. It is not a sprint. Our babies will get there eventually. Have a good day.